Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Journeys of Success podcast series. In this podcast, we cover real life stories of women who have made an impact on our world. They share their career experiences, how they got to where they are, and they answer your questions on topics you find interesting.
So, welcome to the Journeys of Success podcast, where we are sharing the inspiring stories of women who made a big impact in their fields. Today, we are excited to have Dongqing He with us. Dongqing is the commercial director of Schulte Marine Concept, a role she has excelled in after an impressive 21-year career with the Schulte Group. Like many of us, Dongqing began her career outside of shipping and made an incredible journey into shipping later on, always pushing herself to grow. Her story is one of resilience, learning, and leadership, and we are eager to learn from her experiences. Welcome, Dongqing, and thank you for joining our podcast.
Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to share a little bit of my personal experiences with Schulte Group and also my thoughts in the shipping. And it will be a very precious, I would say, opportunity to exchange the opinions as well. And I hope whatever I share would be a little bit helpful for the professional ladies in the shipping industry.
Me too. I hope so too. So let's get started with a little bit of context. Can you start by sharing a bit about your background and what inspired you to transition from banking in Beijing to the shipping industry?
Yeah, sure. After graduation from university, my first job was Citibank headquarters in Beijing. And Citibank is the top 5 big banks in China. I worked on new product development in the retail banking. In the eyes of most Chinese, it was a great job because it was with highest stability, good salary, nice opportunity to grow. Actually, you could work in such entity until your retirement. So as a freshman to the professional life, I did enjoy working in the bank for the first 4 years because I learned a lot of things. However, along with the time passing by, and there was always something in the back of my mind bothering me. So I kept asking myself whether that is something we really want to do for the rest of my life, whether I would like to see something and experience something different. Don't you want to see the world before you are too old? So at the end, I decided to quit and went studying abroad. And it was a big change in my life and brought many new challenges to me, So I went to Germany to study MBA with focus on finance. And after graduation, I decided to look for a job in the finance field and with a German company so I can enrich my working experiences. I entered shipping industry. It was a pure coincidence. I came across a job advert looking for a financial controller in Hamburg. I said, "Oh, Hamburg, that sounds an interesting city." So I said I would like to give a try. So I went to Hamburg for interview without knowing much about shipping. And luckily I got the job and I joined the finance department of Bank Schulte. Under the leadership of Mr. Pinker, our CFO. And I still remember when I joined, I had nearly zero knowledge about ships. I could not distinguish back carriers, tankers, gas ships. I remember it was an interesting time. I remember Mr. Pinker always held a quiz, a test when the ships passing by in the Elbe River in front of our office building, asking the new joiners, what type of ships they were. So everybody's scratching their head. So we learned a lot as new joiners. So that's how I started my journey with the shipping industry. After working 5 years in Hamburg, I moved back to China to join Schulte Marine Concept. And it has been 16 years. Time really flies.
That's really interesting to hear. I mean, I've been there. I also transitioned from out of shipping into shipping. And now, when we do our onboarding globally for new joiners, one of the quizzes we do in these live onboarding events is, what ships do you see on the screen? So we applied the same tactics as Mr. Pinker. It's really good. Um, so that's really interesting. You moved from Beijing to Germany to complete your MBA, and then some years later, you also did more education. You went into an international business law degree. How do you stay motivated to continue to grow in both personally and professionally? What's that key to continuously grow?
First, I love learning, although it's really getting harder to study along with your full-time job. I took this commercial law as a subject because it was indeed a very interesting subject. I like finance, which you play around with numbers, calculations. This international commercial law, there is no definite answer, to your questions. And there is no absolute yes or no, right or wrong, black or white. So this outcome is pretty much hinged on how you present and interpret the context and how to apply the doctrine. So it helps to train your logical thinking and analyzing skills. In addition, it is kind of required by my job. I moved to Schulte Marine Concept, and my work focus is expanded from finance to commercial, which involves, making offers, commercial negotiations, and contracts review. Schulte Marine Concept is a service company. It's with a relatively smaller management team and back office functions. I need to cover nearly everything, which is not technical. So I must learn new skills to work adequately. So studying law gave me a big hand to improve my job.
And that makes a lot of sense. And it's something that everyone should take away, that learning never stops. We got to keep going because you never know. And it helps you grow within your profession as well. So you've been with the Schulte Group for 21 years. And that's amazing, if you ask me. What is it about your job that has kept you in the shipping industry for so long? What do you think someone outside of the shipping industry might easily miss about this field?
Shipping is a very unique industry. You can say that it's a very old, conventional. You can also say that it's novel. It keeps changing and evolving itself along the time. So you will not be easily bored. That's something different. Like, for example, the market fluctuates a lot, for good or bad. The new rules and regulations are introduced. The new technology development is amazing. So I remember when I joined Banhai Schulte 20 years ago, 3,500 TEU container vessel was a big ship. Now we have 24,000 TEU container vessels with LNG dual fuel. So under Schulte Marine Concept, we supervised the construction and the delivery of world largest VLOC, VLCC, LNG. So I have to say that every day we are getting new information and we are learning new things. Apart from that, another interesting part of shipping is that it's so international. The ships sail around the world and connecting different people, different cultures, different skin colors, and different thinking. So it's quite often that when we go off a business dinner, for example, we have 10 attendants, and each one is from a different country. So that makes people working in this industry, I would say, very open-minded and adaptive. But I must confess that shipping, in the meantime, is a hard industry. When I was in Hamburg, Dr. Schulte once made a speech to all the staff, saying that shipping is a hard industry for people in it, starting from the shipbuilding to the ship operation, from ship crew to people working in ports. I understood this statement a lot more after I started working in Schulte Marine Concept, after seeing how the ships are built and operated. So I would say that if you are shipping minded, then you will love it, despite the hard work required.
I absolutely agree. There is nonstop challenges that are constantly coming about, and you're constantly learning new things, and you are truly part of a global team. I think that's one thing that I also couldn't really imagine until I was part of shipping. It's truly a global team, and that's something really special about our industry. All right, so now let's go a little bit more personal, though this has been personal all along. Can you share with us an experience or a story that, something that had a profound impact on your life or your career, particularly during your time with the Schulte Group? What was one of your aha moments?
There are many, but I would say that the move from Hamburg office, from finance department to Schulte Marine Concept, which is a operation unit, has a profound impact on my career. With the finance team, I work mainly on the group financial subjects, including financial controlling or group consolidations. But working in Schulte Marine Concept, we run a business, we run a company. We have to manage from operations to HR, from marketing to systems, every aspect of the company. We have to face along the challenges to expand our business, improve our financial results. So these are the new fields for me. Of course, pose new challenges, but also strengthen my capability and experience in different subjects. So I think that helped me a lot to develop.
And this is kind of like a risk taker's mentality. I'm going to take the risk, I'm going to start something new, and I'm going to learn along the way. And it's something that tends to pay off. Expose yourself to new opportunities because you never know where that path will take you. Very, very, very interesting. And now you are the commercial director of Schulte Marine Concept. What does it take to reach this level of leadership, in your opinion? What is it that, as an individual, you need to bring to the table?
I would say that keep learning, working hard, and open to challenges. At least from my personal experience, there is no shortcut in the career development. I cannot say that I'm successful now, but I can say that every progress in my career is built on hard work and 100% dedication to my job. I promised to EM Beverage before I move back to China that I will always do my best. So I'm doing my best. I joined Schulte Marine Concept in the year 2008, and the vessel new building supervision business just starting in China. And we had only 3 people in the Shanghai office. We had no system, no procedures, no HR. So we got only a small number of projects, mainly from our own group and its partners. So this starting up situation was very demanding and challenging, especially along with the shipping market, which was crashing from the peak into the recession due to the financial crisis in 2008. So for quite a period of time, I worked every day 12 to 14 hours, building our company basically from grounds. But please do not be mistaken. I am not encouraging long overtime. Actually, I'm a promoter of life and work balance. However, in those difficult special times, I had to work hard and harder, to achieve something. Now, Schulte Marine Concept gradually has become a worldwide reputable supervision company. We have established a proper management system, our HSE system, developing our own ERP software. We have supervised over 1,000 ships worldwide. It's a big achievement, and covering almost all type of vessels. and 70% of its business is in China. So we also have trained and brought up a large number of high-level technical experts, supervision engineers. So we have become a well-organized name in shipping for good, sustainable marine consultancy services. So our Schulte Marine Concept business development, we should thank to everyone's efforts. I'm very proud and part of this successful story. And I feel a great sense of achievement. And I'm confident that we will continue to grow.
That's, again, hard work pays off. And this really does fit with the next question really well, because I know till this day you are still a person who wears many hats, who is interested and curious to see how other parts of the business work. We've seen that working with you as well. But I have to ask, as also another person in shipping, how do you balance having so many roles or wearing so many hats? What's the advice there? How can we learn from you?
I would say there's no secret. I mean, it's only delegation. Because for sure, no matter how hard I work, I cannot do everything myself. So I set up the process, procedure. I train the team and delegate the responsibilities to them and support them when they need help and trust that they can do a great job. They are all very talented people. So currently I'm leading HR department, financial department, and administration personnel. So we work closely as a team and we support each other. So I encourage them to bring the new ideas to improve the work. So I think it works so far quite well.
Yeah. I think that's one of the biggest takeaways that any new leader can adopt. It's trust your people. They're experts, they're professionals. They won't let you down if you show trust. It's a very valuable practice to have. I agree 100%. 100%.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. And what would you say? So, I mean, we've talked a lot about already these huge achievements that you've had. You've taken many risks and you ended up with Schulte Marine Concept, something that was in its kind of inception moment. And now it's a successful business, a successful part of the Schulte Group and BSM. So, I mean, can you pick one proud achievement, one of your proudest moments out of this kind of huge accomplishments that you've already had, that we've already talked about?
It
could be personal. It could be personal as well. Whatever you want to share.
Yeah. Personal, I would say the first example is that today I'm selected to join this interview. So I'm very proud to be an example professional lady. I hope I will be somehow help. But this is showing that, I'm trusted as a manager and my hard work is recognized and appreciated. So I think it gives us a really good reward. In addition, we did a lot of our Schulte Group new building projects, and I was appointed as a godmother for twice to name our own shooter vessels in China. So that moment I was really touched, moved, and really, really proud to be a member of our Schulte Group.
And I'll give some context for our listeners out there who might not know what this is. It's essentially when a new vessel is launched, a godmother is selected to bless, to kind of give that successful journey energy to that vessel. And I've only ever seen pictures, and it looks quite formal and like a very special event with a lot of nice energy. So I can only imagine how wonderful that experience is. And you got to do it twice. So that's amazing.
Yeah, luckily I got twice opportunities. And as you explained, it is really a special moment for the vessel. In the past, there's a naming ceremony took place when the vessel was launched, because in the old days, launching a vessel is the time that they got life. So it's like a newborn baby, and then the godmother needs to Christian name the vessel, give all the luck wishes to the ship. Nowadays, the naming takes place when the vessel is delivered. So same meaning. So as I said, I'm very proud to have this opportunity to act as a godmother.
So special. It's really special. Yes. Wow. Okay. So now let's think about other young women out there that, not necessarily in shipping, but that are maybe considering shipping or any other kind of industry where they might say, oh, it's very traditionalist. I don't know if there's a place for me in that world. What advice would you give to young women who are just starting out in their careers in industries with long heritage like shipping?
I would say that don't let the stereotype bother you. Shipping has been seen as a male-dominant industry. And it's still true that the majority of the shipping people is male. However, talented and hardworking professional ladies can definitely find your place in this industry. I see that shipping is more open to ladies these days. As per my experience, I have seen many lady leaders actually in shipping companies, in commercial, marketing, and even in technical fields. We have female, for example, in our company, we have female project managers, we have female technical experts, and lady site supervisors. And I have also met a couple of lady captains. So I would say there is no barrier to stop young ladies to pursue a career in shipping, provided there is no barrier in your mind.
That really resonates, I think, because a lot of the times it's the risks that we're too afraid to take. And once you just make that decision and you go for it, you never know where it will lead you. And yeah, we do have a lot of examples, both within the Schulte group of successful women like yourself. So yeah, take the risk. You never know where it will take you. All right. So this is a little bit of a strange question, I think, but it's something that I wanted us to kind of explore. It's how do you see your work impacting the shipping industry, particularly in China where you're based? And what are your future goals for Schulte Marine Concept? How do you want to continue to carry on this kind of legacy of creating a new business and growing it?
First I have to say that I'm not impacting the shipping industry in any degree. I mean, shipping is so big and China is so big. I'm just around in this industry for some years. But what I would like to do or continue to do is to promote our business, our concept to the Chinese clients, hopefully bring stronger appreciation of quality, value for money to our Chinese clients. We do see that in the last years, there's an increasing number of local Chinese customers, including both big companies or small private investors who have been convinced by the quality service and are willing to invest for what we can deliver rather than looking at only low prices, So I hope that we can support to build up such a good sense. So we can deliver good service and they are happy.
Okay. And it feels like this might work a little bit better with my next question, which is, what does success mean to you? How has your definition of success evolved over your career?
I'm not sure that I'm already successful, but
I disagree.
As per my,
you are definitely.
As per my experience, in my early years of career, the ambition for success would drive me for like higher positions, more responsibilities, and of course higher salary. That is like deemed as a success. But now I do not set such targets anymore. I think more important is that I stay healthy. That is more important. I feel happy in my work. I have a good sense of achievement, and I remain interested in learning and developing myself. And I am contented in that sense.
That works really well because indeed, in an industry where it's 24/7 and challenges are continuously going to be arriving, that it has a global impact because it's a global industry. Finding the balance, meaning always prioritizing also yourself, your health, your happiness, your learning, is how you can contribute better to your work as well. And it's something that I think a lot of young people struggle with, especially because they don't know where that sweet spot is in the very beginning of their career. And over the years, with your experiences, you realize we have to pour some water back into our own cups before we can then pour water into other people's cups as well. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you for sharing that. Okay, so what are your thoughts on the future of women in the shipping industry? What message would you like to send to your female colleagues on International Women's Day, especially?
As a lady, physically we are generally weaker than male, but luckily nowadays it's no longer important because we are embracing AI. So intellectually, I think at least we are equally talented. So, and I believe that women possess many other merits like carefulness, details-minded, and good endurances. So I do not see anything that should stop ladies to make a good career in shipping, like in any other industries. To improve and progress, what we need is to stay focused. When problems arise, we solve the problems. When there is a pressure, we try to alleviate it. When we need to learn, we acquire new knowledges. So stay focused and solve the issues one by one. And in the meantime, working hard while still enjoying life. I think that is important.
Thank you. Thank you for that. And this is our final question for our session. And it's been really fun and interesting for me to be a part of this session as well. So thank you for joining it. And the final question I will ask you is there anything else you want to share with our listeners about your journey or any upcoming projects that you're excited about? Any final thoughts on achieving success in one's career, whatever is on your mind?
No, I would say that my personal experience might not be valid for the others. Everyone needs to think in a specific context. What is the good way, to success? But personally, since I'm asked this question, I would say two things which I would cite for importance. First one is that in addition to personal efforts, choosing a good platform is very important, critical. For me, I would say Schulte Group is the right platform. Schulte company respects employees regardless of nationalities and gender, and giving everyone equal opportunities. And they do not prioritize profit as the sole indicator of success, but rather value customer satisfaction, our reputation, and service quality. And regardless of market situation, Schulte is always willing to invest in human resources for our long-term business development. So in my eyes, Schulte has been and will remain, a forward-looking company. So second, I think you need to have a bit of a patience and let yourself mature. I have many colleagues who joined Schulte as a young talents. They stay with Schulte for many years, and all of them were given along their career a great opportunities to develop. Now they are playing important manager roles in different subsidiaries functions of Schulte Group. So I would say that give yourself and the company you have select a little bit more time before you decide to jump away.
Great. And we do have the numbers to prove it. If anyone reads our ESG reports out there, we do have a gender ratio that's almost 50-50 women to men. And we have over 90 nationalities out there working for the Schulte Group. It is truly a very unique environment and one that we can be proud of. So thank you, Dongqing, for joining me today, for sharing your experiences. And I hope other women out there, but also, young professionals get inspired to try out shipping, dip their feet in the water and see what it's like, because it is a wide world of opportunity in shipping, different types of experts, different types of backgrounds that can contribute to this world. Thank you, Dongqing, for sharing your experiences with us. And we hope everyone has a great day.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your time.